Hello, everybody. Today we're doing a patio ceiling resurface, refinish. Basically, on these patios, if they're going to have them outside over time, the heat, the weathering, the wind, everything, it does a lot of damage to these sheetrock patios. I know in your area you probably don't have sheetrock patios, but out here it's a very common thing. What it is, the builders like to use sheetrock on patios because it's a cheaper alternative versus trying to do cement stucco patios or tongue and groove wood, shiplap, stuff like that. So whenever you have sheetrock outside, eventually you're going to have some peeling issues, tape seam separations. Main reason of these is of course the weathering, but just not having fresh paint on it. Primer and a high quality exterior paint will sometimes give you a lot of protection on these patios. But if not, over time, you're going to get peeling seams like this, the joint seams, texture, areas start peeling off. So when you start noticing it, stuff peeling, it's time to fix it right away because if you don't get to it right away, it just keeps spreading and spreading. Before you know it, you're going to be doing a whole patio like this, scraping it, and it just keeps all coming down, all the mud work. I've seen ones that where they let them go way too long and then they have to end up refinishing the whole patio. If it goes way too long, then they're going to have to probably pull all the sheetrock down and re-sheetrock it with fresh new sheetrock because they just let it go too long. But this basic stuff, we're going to scrape out all the tape seams, all the loose mud, flaking stuff. And on these patios, I like to go through and actually install screws to tighten up the old sheetrock, just in case some of the cracks happen from loose sheetrock. They used to always use nails instead of screws to hang sheetrock, so we like to go through, tighten it up if possible, get everything tightened up. Then we're going to go through, make sure everything's scraped, go through with some fiberglass mesh tape. I like to always use fiberglass mesh tape on my tape seams. I know everybody thinks they have something better. There's something else on the market, but we just use fiberglass mesh. It seems to always work. I never have any cracks, stuff like that. So that's my go-to for most drywall repairs, the fiberglass mesh tape. Get everything fiberglassed. Anything that doesn't look right, double check it. Any nails sticking down from putting the screws in, you want to hammer those nail heads up. And then we're just going to go through on this one and coat everything. I'm using like a 20-minute quick set mud. Of course, you won't need to use a hot mud. Just use a regular all-purpose joint compound to coat with. But on this, I'm using a 20-minute mud. Going to get it all coated out on stilts. That way I don't have to go up and down ladders all the time. Then we're going to let the 20-minute setup. Since this is a glossy type paint on the ceiling, it's going to take longer than 20 minutes to set up. That's the only problem with hot muds. If you use them on semi-gloss painted walls or ceilings, sometimes it takes a little longer to set up on the semi-gloss paint. But once it sets up, we're going to slick it out. And then if need be on the deep areas, do a tight second coat, touch up, and everything looks good. We're going to follow through with a skip trowel texture to match here. Of course, your patio may not have a skip trowel. We're just matching the texture, but the coating process is the same. So if you did a two-coat process on these and you just want to leave it smooth, maybe just do a tight third coat with the all-purpose joint compound. And the texture here, we're just using the same all-purpose joint compound for the skip trowel texture that's thinned down. And you could leave the mud thick or thin. You just have to mess with it until you find the how busy you want the texture. Sometimes you have to practice with the skip trowels before you find how thick and heavy you want. This is a heavy skip trowel here, so a good thing it hides a lot of the bad work that was done previously, bad repairs. But it's just watch and learn process. We also have other videos on the channel, patching, stress cracks, other patio jobs like this. But basically scraping it all off, treating it like it's new sheetrock, like we have to tape all the same seams, coat all the rows of nails, pretty much like finishing new sheetrock with these patios. But once they get the patio all repaired and textured, a nice primer, like a Kills 2 latex, I recommend, rolled on and put it on good two coats, nice and heavy, and then follow through with the exterior, high quality exterior gloss paint. And then it should last a long time. If you have patios like this that keep peeling and you get tired of always repairing them, doing work on them because it is a maintenance thing, then you're going to have to do an alternative option like shiplap or wood paneling or something else on the ceiling besides sheetrock. But simple video, patio repairs, seam repairs, just like everything else. It's just another drywall repair for us to do. This one's making it a little easier because I'm working on stilts, so I don't have to go up and down the ladder. So that's the advantage of using stilts. But of course, if you're just a homeowner, you're not going to be buying stilts and using stilts. I do this every day. And maybe you have a patio like this that you need to work on and you're not comfortable doing all the steps. Well, you can always go through, do it yourself, is scrape the drywall, scrape all the loose stuff off. Maybe you could even put some screws in and then hire someone to do the mudding and taping and texturing. At least you get all that stuff scraped off. I've seen people also go through and just scrape all the loose stuff off and paint over it since it's just a patio. At least that will seal it up to keep it from peeling more and more paint, even though you didn't do the drywall repairs and texturing. At least you have something on it to keep it from peeling worse than it is. But yeah, basic patio repair. I hope you liked the video. Just watch and learn. Like I said, there's other videos in the channel, so if you haven't seen any of those, you can jump in the playlist. I got kitchen, bathroom playlist, texture playlist, tools, advice, small jobs, big jobs. So I got several different playlists of different drywall repairs that we do in the field. Hope you like the video. Thank you.